It's not doing it.
Should be any second now.
It's not doing nothing. Oh,
There we go.
now I got an
Now
ad.
we got some ads going, so that's something. All right. Give everybody just a second here. Come in past the ads, and we will get started.
There be. Stuck.
All right. So hopefully you can see us and hear us okay. We've got Mind and Body Co., Campat and Family Compound, Susan Baker, Joe, the father of Lawrence and not Lawrence, Suburban Hillbilly, Ben's Over Acres, All the Things Acres, Built on the Rock Homestead, Where to Begin Homestead, Vicky B, Mary Beth Smith,
Joe said all
Nunyon, Texas, on the back 20. Welcome, everyone.
Well, you know, me and Abby were talking about that the other day, the Lawrence and not Lawrence.
Oh, yeah?
And she's like, I'm so glad that stuck the way it did.
But yeah, that's funny.
She said,
So,
'cause
if you don't
it's
know,
so great.
Joe is my cousin. He's the one who does our T-shirts and our coffee cups. And anyway, he's got twin boys, sons, and they are Lawrence and
Not Lawrence.
now I forgot his name, Stephen.
Stephen.
Good Lord. So it's been the running joke. It's because Katie one time forgot Stephen's name, and she's like,
She saw him on the road.
Lawrence.
She saw him on the road, and she's like, "Hey, I saw one of Joe's boys today, in passing or whatever in his car." And I was like, "Oh, which one was it?" And she's like,
Not Lawrence.
Not Lawrence."
Firefly Farm, welcome. All right,
It's stuck ever since. I love it.
So, hello everyone. Welcome. We've been dealing with some little bit crazy weather. Not too bad. Nothing like we had 2 years ago. Because
it's been tropical, somewhat weather.
On this day, 2 years ago, let's see, Hurricane Laura, one of the strongest hurricanes ever to hit, to make landfall in America, on record at least, came directly through Lake Charles, Louisiana, on the night of August 26th, morning of 27th. So today's the 25th. On this day, 2 years ago, Amy and I were, well, I was the assistant, but she was feverishly canning meat from the freezer to try to prevent losing that meat in a power outage. And I can say that was pretty successful.
Yeah. I don't even remember how many jars we did. It was like one right after the other.
I don't know, but it was
one round right after the other.
At least 2 full canners a day, at least.
Mm-hmm.
And roughly a pound of meat fits in a pint jar. So
well, this year, if we do have to do that, then I have 2 canners that I can run at a time.
Yes.
So it'll empty out a little bit quicker.
Yeah, so that worked out. As it turns out, we didn't necessarily need to do all that because the generator that we borrowed, because we didn't have one at the time, we borrowed a generator. It 4 days. We went without power to the freezer for 4 days, but
it was stuff still solid.
Right. And that's one of the things we're going to mention tonight is if you pack your fridge or freezer as full as it can get, then that creates mass and it helps to keep the cold in.
Well, what I did too is I had some old vinegar bottles that I was keeping for water storage, and I filled those mostly with water, and I stuffed them into the freezer in any nook and cranny that I could for, I had of extra space.
You're right. It could have been worse.
So,
hey, Canadian.
We were able to keep the freezer pretty cold, and we didn't open it. The minute
Right.
the power went out, that was it.
Right.
Nobody was allowed to open anything.
That's an important fact too. Keep it closed. So, let's see. Ben's over acres remembers the canning. We were having trouble too because at the time we had tried HughesNet. Strongly recommend against HughesNet if you're going to try to do anything having to do with YouTube. We had a horrible experience with HughesNet. Anyway, Mud Pie, welcome.
Well, hey, Reagan.
Reagan.
We were talking about you today. Coffee.
Yes, sir.
You know, I always have coffee ready on Thursday night, so you should be here by 5:30ish.
We've been having a little trouble with our internet. I really strongly believe that that's what's been causing our microphone, our sound issues on our live streams. So what I've done is we're using StreamYard for a few reasons. One is because last time I used it, we didn't have any mic issues. So I can switch mics and see if that's the problem, if we do start to have mic issues. And also we can share things like this.
Like this, and then
Like
there's
this.
nothing.
This. There, that's the one I meant first. The hurricane preparedness checklist. So to just kind of jump right into the topic, this one, I just Googled hurricane preparedness checklist, switched it to images, and this was one of the first ones that I found. And I think it's pretty well all encompassing as far as things that you would want to have on hand to prepare for hurricanes. For us, it's second nature. We've lived in Southwest Louisiana all of our lives.
HughesNet is almost a scam company. It's that bad. Yeah.
It's awful. So hurricane preparedness is just part of our lives. It's what we do every year.
I think that's what makes us better preppers, though.
That has a lot to do with it.
Because we're used to doing it.
My training as a first responder, I've got to be ready for as many situations as we can ponder, as we can come up with. So on this particular checklist, it mentions an evacuation plan first, which is very important. Whether you decide to evacuate or not, you should have a plan and a
Reagan
destination.
said these kits are a must for sure down here in the South.
Yep.
Yeah, but notice how they fit everything in a tote.
Yeah, that's not practical. I think that's got to be just for a photo. I don't know.
Our stuff might fit in like 6 of those. Maybe.
We're fortunate to have, mainly because of YouTube, we have friends, family all over.
I was gonna say you can't put Joe in a tote. I mean, you could, but it might be illegal.
We've got friends in Dallas. We've got friends in Southeast Arkansas. We've got friends in Northwest Louisiana. We've got, just people all over the place that have all said, if you need a place, come on over. Fortunately, we haven't had to use that.
Yeah.
Which for Hurricane Laura, we probably should have. Anyway, we have good friends. That's the point. And
Friends in Kentucky.
There you go. Yeah.
That's a long evacuation trip.
Well, Jason at
Big Bear
Homestead in Georgia offered us to go over there, which I would love to.
We'd have to have a pretty good sized tote though to fit Joe in there. And put the lid on. Joe's pretty tall.
Joe is tall, yeah. I think Joe's taller than me.
I think you're right. It's hard to tell because y'all are always wearing your big stupid hat.
Yeah.
So.
Friends in Idaho, right? We have friends in Canada.
That's a heck of an evacuation trip. Hey, Sean, hang on. We're coming. See you in a week.
Next on the list is medications and medical supplies. So the medications, you would want to try to stay ahead as much as possible on your prescriptions, as much as legally allowed, really.
Well, a lot of places, though, a lot of pharmacists will allow extra prescriptions
if there's a
there's a
hurricane coming.
major hurricane coming.
Yeah. Of course, New York, West Tennessee. Cash is a big deal because you want to have cash on hand if there's a power outage or an internet outage or both. Debit cards, credit cards do not work.
Yeah, a lot of people around here found that out the hard way. I know Susan and Wayne had that problem up there when it snowed. When they had the snow and stuff, they had a lot of issues
Hey, Dance.
getting
Well, that
like fuel or
and that's the
food
thing
or
about
anything.
this. It isn't all just hurricane. That's what we know. But these preparedness tips can be applied to pretty much any natural disaster in some way or another. There's a whole lot of overlap.
Yeah.
Flashlights and batteries.
I mean, there's probably some things that we would need for a hurricane that you would not need for a blizzard, like an air conditioner.
That's true too. Yeah, yeah. But these are really basics. Phone and portable chargers, of course.
Let me grab that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I've been setting it next to the window because it charges up.
Well, you can get these. You can get little power blocks that you charge up in advance, and it's
I
just
turned it on.
it's like an external battery for your phone. And this is just like an upscaled version of that with a solar panel on it. So you can see the 4 lights there. That's just showing that it's
full
all the way full. I can't read that.
That's because it's microscopic.
Yeah, there's little words under the lights, and the lights are blinding me. Anyway, not the point.
25, 50, 75, and 100%.
Oh, okay. There you go.
You have to like cover the lights to be able to see it.
Anyway, this block is really cool, and I don't remember how to turn it on. That's going to be blinding. The whole back of it is a flashlight or a light.
Oh.
I think do you double press it?
Yep.
That's it. Yeah. So, and it's LEDs. So it's anyway.
But this kept me going through the storm. After the storm, the 4 days that we didn't have any power, we were able to put that in the window, just up next to the window, and it was able to charge enough. Now if it was clear outside and it wasn't going to rain, then I would go stick it outside in the middle of the yard and let it boot up. But when we were here for 4 days, me and Abby were here. We didn't have a generator yet. So we were doing everything we could to stay with our phone charged enough to where if he called and kind of checked in, we could let him know that we were at least alive and well.
Oh, Mary Beth said she would take us too. See, I love you guys. I'm gonna change it to no. Let me do it like that. I'm gonna keep it like that. That'll keep us little. Anyway, important documents such as birth certificates, insurance cards, social security cards, bank and credit card numbers, wills, house inventory photos, titles, vet and microchip records for your pet. All those kinds of stuff.
Insurance, like homeowners insurance.
Yeah.
That needs to be on that list.
Well, it says insurance cards.
Okay, I don't have a card for my homeowners insurance. I've got documents.
Whatever the case, Amy took all of our documents.
I did. I put them in a vacuum seal bag, and I vacuumed. I didn't really vacuum them like all that well. I didn't shrink them all that well, but I was able to seal them off. That way, if we had to leave or we had a busted window or anything like that, these weren't getting wet.
Yeah. The one thing you got to remember is with a hurricane, there's a lot of water involved. So try to keep things in a dry way. Battery powered weather radio. I have this little cheap one right here. It's very cheap. It's got a flashlight.
Why are you going to point that at the people?
Radio.
Is it battery powered?
Well, no, this one.
It's not.
This one's a crank radio.
You know what I like about that? I could sit here and charge. It's got a phone charger on it. It's got a USB on it. So I could sit here and pretend like I'm fishing and charge my phone after the hurricane because there ain't nothing else to do.
And there's a siren on it too. I don't know how loud
No,
that is, but
don't do
I'm
it.
not going to do it. But actually, I pulled this out of my 72-hour bag. But I think this one is Life Gear, and I'm well, we're tiny on the screen. Hang on. There you go.
A water and fireproof file box for
Life
documents.
Gear. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this one was like $20 at Academy.
That's not a bad idea too, Gil. He says we have a water and fireproof file box for our documents. Also, we have everything on CD and thumb drives.
All right.
That
North Star Prepsteader. Hey, Kathy.
The only problem with CD and thumb drives is because like our insurance re-ups every year. So I would probably forget to upload the new documents.
Swampy Acres. That's another name I haven't seen in a little while. Good to see everyone. A phone list, tangible phone list, in case your phone gets wet, damaged.
Yeah.
Can't use it, whatever. And that's a good thing to have anyway. Just like a tangible, written list of phone numbers. This one includes doctors, insurance, electric, gas, and water companies, family, friends, neighbors, landlord or property manager, bank or credit union. Well,
Southern Boy Prepper said, North Star Prepsteader. Hello, Sean. Good to see you, sir.
Whoops.
Actually, Reagan, that is Kathy. That's North Star.
Star Prepsteader. They're so similar.
I know.
And
the
channels.
The symbols are
the channel names are very similar in the chat.
Yeah.
They're
Hey,
very
Nanny
different
Joyce.
people. Nanny Joyce, welcome.
I can laugh though at Reagan because I've done it numerous times. Password notebook.
Keeping your vehicle filled with gas is another great idea. An emergency kit including non-perishable food and water.
I had an NOAA radio.
NOAA.
When I moved here, but there is no NOAA stations around me.
Huh.
That's odd. I thought they had to be.
I don't know how NOAA works, honestly. I know, you know how you get the emergency broadcast stuff on your phone. Oh my goodness, that whole night that we were in the firehouse during the storm, everybody's phones every so often.
Oh, and at Mama's, it was every few minutes. There was a tornado warning here, tornado warning there, tornado warning here. I was like, oh God, I don't know if I can take it.
Non-perishable food and water, 1 gallon per person per day of water for 7 days. So 1 gallon per person for 7 days.
We keep several
7 gallons a person for however many. I mean, 7 gallons per person for however many people in your house. We have Amy, me, and Abby, so that would be 21 gallons. Now that's meant to include drinking water, cooking water, cleaning water, everything that a person might need in a day. That's what that's meant to account for.
In the South, we fill when we know that there's a storm coming, we fill our bathtubs, sinks, any available like water pitchers, drink holders, anything we can with faucet water. And we plan to use that water for cooking or flushing toilets after the storm so that you're not having to set rain barrels out, buckets and stuff out to try to catch rainwater for flushing your commode.
Don't forget your can opener. Amy's got a really nice one. You care to grab that?
Gotta get up again.
Oh Lord.
Okay. Kathy's asking, are they predicting a serious season?
I don't know, honestly.
It's been a very mild season so far.
It's been really quiet, but that doesn't mean anything.
There is some chitter chatter about a possible development in the next week to 10 days.
I think they said by September 3rd.
So just kind of.
It's lippy. Turlet water.
Okay, you were doing the same thing I was trying to pronounce that.
All right, so let me fix the screen here. So I want to show you this really cool uh, non-electric can opener that Amy has. If you look at it from this side, it looks like one of those normal little can openers, right? And it functions just the same. But what I really like about it, because I've got a black shirt, let me see. It's got this big crank on it that's easier for people who may have arthritis, or hell, I just like it because I can whip a can open in no time, and it's just a really nice, well-built can opener.
I had the link for that, and I don't know what I did with it.
Okay, we'll set that aside. And we'll fix the screen again. A cooler. If the power goes out, it's much easier to put, if you can get a hold of bags of ice, put those down in a cooler than try to stick them in your fridge, because water doesn't stay in the fridge. Water would stay in a cooler. We did have a, I think it was a 55, a big white cooler. We did have one at one point. We scaled back.
Oh, the ice chest, yeah.
And we kept just a few items out of the fridge that we really thought we were going to use or need. And the rest, we just let it go. We tossed it. Before it spoiled in the fridge.
Yeah.
Out of garden, Glenn, welcome. Oh, Wendy Benjamin, I see you there. First aid kit. You got to know how to use it. And that would be a great thing if you're not skilled in any kind of first aid or anything at this point. That's a great skill to have. Just simple first aid. A little bit more advanced would be even better. But know how to stop bleeding, different stuff. Just have some basic medical knowledge. That'd be a good idea. Pet supplies, if you have pets, make sure that they have their food, water, leash, collars, bowls, medications, cage carriers, whatever that pet needs. Are you still trying to find the can opener?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Moving on. No, if we're able to find if she's able to find the can opener, we'll still.
I like the can opener. Like I really think that it would benefit a lot of people because it's freaking great.
A small propane catering stove. Yeah, we did have a little camp stove at the time because everything in our house was electric at the time. Now we have a propane stove, so I mean, we're pretty good there.
All right.
You got it?
All late. But...
All right, here comes in the chat. You'll probably see it before you hear me because with StreamYard, there's a delay.
Small propane catering stove. I've seen those. We have a little camp stove that I was using last year, but
it's a little, well, that was 2 years ago.
Okay.
I'm just clarifying. Just clarifying.
This is a good checklist for tornado preparedness, even blizzard season. I can't not. I try to keep a lot of some, little bits of some of this stuff in the car with me.
Oil. Gil, if you have a link to that item, why don't you share that in the chat?
Type backpack.
I'm interested in that. KP Heathen, welcome.
Jet boil? That sounds weird.
It's probably like a high pressure.
I'm trying to imagine.
Like a really good crawfish boiler, that kind of burner.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm just trying to imagine it because it says backpack stove. I can't see.
I'm guessing it most likely folds up, I guess.
I can't see a crawfish burner style thing stuck in somebody's backpack. It just.
Sleeping bags and pillows.
Seasoning and coffee. Yes. Yes. See, that's why me and Joe get along so well.
Well, of course. course, seasoning and coffee. Sleeping bags and pillows, because there's a good chance you won't be sleeping in your bed, at least for the duration of the storm.
Who wants to sleep in their bed all sweaty and gross? Ugh. It was 107 degrees, and it was miserable.
Hey,
I didn't want to sleep on the furniture. It was gross.
A toolbox and rope, plastic sheeting and duct tape. Those are more for after the storm. Same with work gloves.
I thought you were saying you needed to sleep on plastic sheeting with duct tape.
A fire extinguisher is a good idea. That's always a good thing to have anyway, a fire extinguisher. Cleaning supplies, again, mainly for after the storm.
Hey, Warren.
Extra clothing, a whistle. Why a whistle? Why do you
That's so I can whistle and joke and hear me.
That's for cat calling. No. No. If something happens that because buildings can be destroyed by hurricanes, and if someone is unfortunately caught under collapsed rubble or something, if they have a whistle with them, then that is an additional a way that they can maybe call for help. Prepper Book Club.
Duct tape for detaining looters too.
Oh,
That's what ammo's for.
Let me see if I can bring this up. New tab.
You gonna break it?
I hope not. I hope I don't mess up.
What are you doing?
I want to see this, and I'd like to share it. Okay, let me get back to stream.
I only have bottom sheet on my bed. No need for covers in the summer, right? Ugh.
I'm going to come back to that screen. I want to share with you what Gil just sent. There. All right. Oh, so Jetboil is the brand.
It is.
That's really cool. It's just a little fold up.
It's a crawfish burner.
Basically, yeah. That's really nice. And there's different types. That's on silent.
That was my phone.
Was it? Where is your? Okay. Let's see this. The $114. Okay, now there's some more affordable ones. I see. Okay. And this is the link that's in the chat, guys. So that's really cool.
I missed something.
So
KP Heathen said I lost my younger brother Monday.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It looks like
I'm gonna put you on the prayer list.
I'm going to zoom in on this. It looks like you would get this piece and the stand down at the bottom, because this is kind of grayed out. It looks like that would be sold separately. Am I right, Gil? I'm pretty sure.
I missed all of that.
Okay. All right. So I'll stop sharing that one. Let's see.
You're not going to need my list.
Hobo stove. Hey, Kaylin. Okay, Gil shared another one.
KP, I added you to our prayer list. That is a cool burner, huh, Joe? I was trying to figure out how it would look to have a crawfish burner folded all up enough to fit in a backpack, but that's pretty neat.
Oh, this one. Okay, I got to show you. Oh, that's thunder.
It is thunder.
I got to show you guys this one, this other link that Gil just sent, because that one is much more affordable, I think. That one.
Oh, yeah. Where that came from.
Okay. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. So the pot is included in this one, it looks like, for $60. All right, cool. That's awesome. I like that. So if you like that, the link is there in the chat from Camp Pet and Family Compound. So let me go back to sharing the preparedness checklist. There we go. All right. Back on track. Thank you for sharing that, Gil. Camp Chef Striker. That's another one. Okay. You guys heard the thunder over? Wow. All right. So let's see. And the last thing is special needs items for infants, small children, and the elderly or disabled, and that is the last thing on the list because we're not going to entertain those last things there. All right. Okay. Anyone else watch Stivers today? Oh, car crash near them. No, I didn't see that. All right. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do right now is I have in my queue, I have the video that I made after Hurricane Laura here in Lake Charles, or here in the Lake Charles area. What I would like to do is play a little portion of that just so we can kind of remember what we went through. And I'll stay down in the chat. I'll mute myself while we watch. Oh, hang on. Sorry. Let me try that again. I want to make sure that I did it right to where you can hear the video too. Yeah. Okay, I did. I didn't have to do all that. Sorry. Less than 48 hours ago, as Hurricane Laura was making landfall here in southwest Louisiana, I did a live stream and I talked to you guys right here in this parking lot. And this destruction behind me was the fence line and the tree line that I showed you. The trees were starting to blow in the wind. Wow, that's a military aircraft. Checking out the destruction, I guess. Yeah, and that was our communications tower here at the firehouse. This is Lake Charles Firehouse number 6, attached to the administration offices, and it's a mess. We rode out the storm, me and about 14 other guys here on duty, and I would not recommend it. It was extremely scary. But anyway, long story short, I've got some clips from town, from our riding around over the past couple days since the storm, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. We are safe, in case you haven't seen our live streams. Here, me and Amy and Abby, we're safe. We have minimal damage to our home. All of our animals survived, but without further ado, here are the clips. This is McNeese Street in Lake Charles. I'm trying to get out of town, trying to go home to see what my place looks like. This is very dangerous looking. May end up with some tire damage over this, but I was released from work just long enough to go see what I've got. Interstate 10 between Lake Charles and Iowa. What you're seeing in the road is lots and lots and lots of pine trees, not pecan, pine trees, broken trees, leaves, limbs. Oh yeah, I'm not saying. Not even sure what that is. Is that a mobile home? No, I think that's awning. Some kind of awning. Next to nothing left in that tree.
Oh, man. Oh, crap, that's in the tree.
Okay.
Duracell has teamed up with Make-A-Wish to power some amazing outdoor wishes for kids across the country.
Hey buddy, it's Bad Girls here. You ready for this?
Yeah, so yeah. That was some crazy times. I waited and watched that with you again. I didn't watch it before the stream tonight. I wanted to kind of, and it's bringing back emotions from 2 years ago. There was I really believe it's a form of PTSD that comes along with enduring something like that. I see another Joe in the chat. Hello and welcome. Why no hurricanes yet? You mean this season? More than likely, it's probably because of the Sahara dust.
Let's be thankful.
Yes, let's be thankful. I understand that the Sahara dust up in the atmosphere helps to, or it hinders the formation of the hurricanes. I see there was a few in the chat talking about losses. I'm so sorry. Sorry for your losses. Yeah, Southern Boy Prepper is from down here in Southwest Louisiana as well. I'm sure Reagan has his own personal testimony of Hurricane Laura. Short. These blue tarps, they were hard to find after the storm. Had to drive to Beaumont. There was a sign company. I can't remember the name of the sign company, but it's in Lake Charles. It's the guys who do the billboards. And at one point, we had to take a pickup truck. This was on duty with the fire department. We had to take a pickup truck and a flat trailer and go to the sign company, and they donated a bunch of old. I don't even know if they're old. There's just material, sign material, which is like a very heavy tarp.
Mm-hmm.
Scraps, I think, is what it was.
I don't know. Some of them were.
We're gonna make that happen.
Were pretty good sized tarps.
Yes, yeah. We were really fortunate. Well, I say fortunate. We've kind of paid in. The firefighters union that I'm part of. They had a crew, at least one crew here in the area, that were coming to tarp roofs, and they did ours for us while I was on duty. Tammy, welcome.
I don't know why it does that.
We
just Kathy to Cathay.
Cathay.
I don't know why it adds an A in there.
Melinda, hello and welcome. Oh, funny story about Miss Melinda. This past week, we were out doing our little side gig. We were door dashing. And this name comes up on the order that I was offered, and it said Melinda Rose E. And I was like, well, wait a minute. I know this lady lives here in this town. It's like, so I texted her. I was like, Melinda, did you order DoorDash? Because if so, it was me and Amy that just delivered it, because it was the way it was a leave at the door, which means a no contact delivery. And she said, well, she came back a little while later. She said, no, that was my daughter. We have the same name or whatever. And she says, check your PayPal. And so in addition to what we made on the delivery, Sweet Miss Melinda Elliott gave us some extra PayPal money. So thank you very much for that. How's Kate?
I don't know, because I haven't really talked to her much. I know she is super busy trying to get everything squared away. And I'm sure she's taking care of her mom. And I know that at her mom's house, she doesn't have very good cell service. So I've been getting a few little texts here and there, but it's no details of anything. So I'm just going to continue to pray that everything is doing good. I let her know that I'm thinking about her. I kind of try to check in at least once a week, but I don't want to overwhelm her either. How's Abby's college and high school classes going? It's busy. She's working 2 jobs, going to college. Well, she's taking a college class and a high school class. And she's had a little bit of trouble kind of juggling the schedule, and more so getting in touch with her counselor at the high school, because I think this was the 3rd round she tried to schedule a meeting, and they kept missing each other. But she was able to do that meeting today, so it's going pretty well. She really likes the classes. I think her only complaint about college is the parking. She has to park pretty good far away, and it's been raining every day, so either she gets soaked or her shoes get soaked. So
would a mobile hotspot help with the correct signal at the location? What location?
Here.
Our home? I don't know.
Well, no,
I'm not even sure
really,
how
because
a mobile hotspot works. I've hotspotted my computer off of my phone before, because there is a hotspot built into my phone. If it's not if a mobile hotspot wouldn't be any better than my phone, then no.
Oh, did somebody tell Reagan that Sean's actually here now?
Oh, hey Reagan. All right, so
Reagan came in and thought that North Star Prepstetter was Sean.
So I've got some stuff here.
Oh, they're asking about for Kate. See, that I don't even know. Mobile hotspots rely on the cell signal.
It was so good to see you.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I've never been to Kate's mom's house. I don't know what they have existing, but I'd have to ask her, and I don't know if Kate knows enough about any of that.
Did you react to that thing that Joe put about
No.
says I can print Amy oh well, that would be Abby, I think, a bootleg decal for parking in faculty staff areas. It's good to know people.
Well, she has a parking pass, but the problem is the parking has been so full, and some of it is because it's like the first few weeks of school, so they have like all kinds of orientation and stuff is going on, so they had a bunch of extra people there, and she only has 1 class. She's gonna have to get used to it, because she's got what, 4 years. Oh, you got it, Lori.
Let's see. I'm going to try to share with you this document we made. Firefly. It's really just our own Google Doc, and it was really just talking points for tonight. But I'd like to share it with you so that we can go over it together. Definitely
on the prayer list. That virus is rough. I made myself one and didn't get caught till my last day of college. That's funny.
That's great.
Oh man.
Okay. There. Okay, I think we're good now.
That's what I'm thinking, Kaylin. Once the orientation part of it kind of settles down and all the events are done, you know, then the parking shouldn't be so bad.
Since I just want to address this real quick, since Sean is in the room. Sean is North Shore Preparedness, our friend from Canada, and Michigan Daffodil just asked if there was any good news from Canada, and it reminded me of something that I saw this past week. Big Dreams, Tiny Budget. Welcome, Anne-Marie. Good to see you. So the news out of Canada that I heard this week was that Canada has the government what medical, whatever. What is it called?
Healthcare.
Government-run healthcare. Yeah, I guess.
You're asking me like I'm from Canada. I mean, I don't know. Ask him.
What is it, eh? Anyway. So
just that we're
news
going to be
that I saw.
tightening up on our northern defense as we've had it in place for decades. Okay.
yeah, because technically, Canada's neighbor to the north is Russia. Because the globe.
That's a pretty good distance.
No,
but-
it's actually not.
Really?
It's not that far, no.
When they freeze in place, because that's like the Arctic.
Anywho, the news that I heard out of Canada this week was kind of terrifying. It's that they were offering, the Canadian government was, and Sean, please correct me if I'm wrong, the Canadian government was offering euthanasia to veterans, and there was others.
I don't remember all the details.
Offering euthanasia. How? That's medieval crap. Well, actually, probably medieval. They would probably just do it without asking you, but.
Oh. Here you got bit by a dog. It's an antibiotic. My hand got in the way of a dog fight last week. Oh, yikes.
We do have listening
See,
outposts in the Arctic.
Gil said, I thought that Santa Claus was Canada's neighbor to the north.
Okay.
We do have listening outposts in the Arctic Circle. Really? You see, that would not be my job ever. Nope. Brett, that's old news. That's been offered up here for a few years now.
Oh. Okay. Well, old news or not, I was freaking appalled.
Well,
Cajun
okay.
Homestead, good to see you.
Offered is one thing. Forced is another.
Well, I mean, if it's forced, is it really euthanasia or is it? I don't know. Let's not go there. Anyhow.
Hey, Sean in Alaska.
Sean in Alaska. How's things in
And he's picking at me
Utah?
about the cold. It's Steve from Utah.
Steve from Utah.
You realize how many names we screw up?
I
You
know.
know, Lawrence and not Lawrence.
Oh,
And now we
man.
have Steve in Utah. Instead
So
of-
yeah, so
Yeah.
apparently Joe's YouTube name is Joe the father of Lawrence and not Lawrence because of us. Sean in Alaska wears a kilt because of us. Anybody else got anything to blame on?
We have for decades. I've known fellow service members whose plane crashed on the way there. Wow. I would not want to work in the Arctic.
We need to get back on track.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so this is again basically our notes, but talking points, and we'd be happy to share this with you. It's a Google document. Don't know if anybody really.
He doesn't know
Anyway,
how to share it, so I'll share it with you if you need it.
I'll be happy to have Amy share it with you. So just kind of a timeline of how things go surrounding a major storm, a hurricane. So general preparedness. Kind of, we talked about the checklist, which we could share that with you as well, and just keeping a stock of non-perishable food and water is always a good idea.
Abby, are you playing with bells?
Oh, that's right. She got a bowl of ice cream. So 2 to 3 days
Oh.
before expected landfall of a hurricane. Now, landfall, if you're not familiar, landfall would be when the eye of the storm reaches the coast, and it's
I
coming
thought it
on.
said landfill. I heard the spoon on your bowl, and we were just talking about the Arctic and how, Santa Claus lives north of Canada. and then I heard bells. It was kind of trippy.
So 2 to 3 days before landfall, and it doesn't have to be within 2 to 3 days. It could be even before that. But you want to secure anything that could fly. Remember,
I'm
high
gonna be
winds.
finished with it 2 to 3 days before landfall.
We're talking about very, very strong winds. Hurricane Laura, the particular storm that we have in recent memory to reference, hey, Homestead Aquarius, good to see you. Is we had wind gusts of over 200 miles an hour. That's hard to fathom. Board up your windows, which we didn't. I guess we were just lucky or blessed. We didn't have any broken windows.
Wow.
Take steps to protect outdoor pets and livestock. Gardens, you can pretty much count on them being a loss. There's not a whole lot you can do to protect a garden. And honestly, it's not priority. For us,
You say that, but our sweet potato vines stayed on the freaking trellis.
okay, but sweet potatoes are a root vegetable, a root crop. So let's be fair here.
Yeah, but the vines actually stayed on the trellis. I was so impressed.
For us, we still had Angel, our golden retriever at the time, and Chloe, our Chihuahua, which we still have Chloe, and she took the two of them. Abby was with you, and went to her mom's house, and the cat, unfortunately, the cat had to stay here.
Well,
We
because
didn't
my
have a
mom's
choice.
house had 6 dogs in it,
So
one
yeah.
of which eats cats.
So that was not an option.
Yeah.
The cat had to stay here, and I know she's still got PTSD from that hurricane too, because
Every time it thunders, she ends
She's-
up in my bed,
she's
under my bed.
probably hiding in the couch right now, in the couch.
She's
because
under the
of
bed.
She's under the bed.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
If she can get in our room, she goes under our bed.
we had at the time we had meat chickens, and they were
right, Kaylin.
very young meat chickens. They rode out the storm in a tote in the shed. We strapped down the beehives, and they made it through. I mean, it's just things like that.
Did you read Sean's comment? You missed it.
I missed it. What is it?
Scroll back.
Trudeau seems to have turned down the opportunity to ship liquid natural gas from here to Ukraine, which could add billions to our economy. Such an idiot. Not surprised.
I didn't want you to miss it.
Some people are becoming professional idiots at this point. Take out cash to keep it on hand. We mentioned that earlier. When the power is down or the internet is down, debit cards don't work. Fuel up your vehicles and check all fluids.
Germany, not Ukraine.
Again, this is 2 to 3 days before landfall or expected landfall. Locate emergency items and prepare them for use. So that would be things like, your little hand crank radio, flashlight, these type of things, hurricane lanterns.
Joe said we're about to get
that
wet.
type of stuff. Take photo. I still have all those photos on my phone. Take photos of the home, vehicles, belongings for insurance purposes.
I took
Before
photos.
pictures.
I took before pictures, and then I took after pictures.
Right.
Yeah. Oh.
That was a blinky.
Did we lose
We
anybody?
could possibly lose internet here.
No, we didn't lose it.
We didn't lose it.
I'm so impressed.
I'm going to try to finish running through this in case we do lose power or
What
or
is
internet.
typically the hurricane season where you are from June 1st,
I think it's
through
June to November.
November 1st? Yeah.
I think.
That's the full season, but August and September are normally the most active.
Assist friends,
Usually around my birthday, which is next week.
family, and neighbors as you are able. Evacuate if you plan to. That needs to be not the day of the storm. That needs to be before 2 to 3 days before the storm is expected to come in. You do not want to get stuck in traffic and ride out a major hurricane in your vehicle on a highway somewhere. That would not make for a good day.
Right, Caitlin. It can start earlier and run later. Yeah.
Prepare, check, and run your generator. Tune into local weather station to track storm. With whatever device you may have, you may do it on your phone, television, radio, whatever the case. Hours before landfall, you want to hunker down, keep phones and devices charged before there is an outage, and tune into the local weather station to track the storm. During the hurricane,
Joe said, it really takes a lot of prep for a hurricane. I remember how exhausted I was with prep work.
yeah, oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That way, and then like when the storm starts to come in, that's when you rest because there's nothing else to do.
But you're bored.
Yes.
Because you're all amped up.
You got all this energy.
You got all this amped up energy, and then you're sitting there and you can't rest. I watched the windows, and well, Daddy had the generator plugged in, so we watched branches fall all the way around our vehicles. It was creepy.
During the storm, you want to stay indoors, away from exterior doors and windows. Entertain children the best you can to help keep them calm, because those kinds of things, they can really affect the mental status, the mental state of a child, even more so than an adult, which I know it affected me. Remember, winds can uproot trees and break power lines and power poles. Those things can be raining down.
Lori asked, when was it that Amy and Abby had to stay at some kind of campground place? I remember they were sitting under a screened-in porch somewhere, and Brett was at work.
A screened-in porch?
I don't know.
No, Amy and I did a live stream
from the place in Texas where we went for Delta. I bet that's what
that was the other storm that happened in 2020. We did evacuate.
Yeah.
And Amy and I did a live stream from the porch there. It wasn't screened in. May have looked that way from in. That might be what you're thinking of.
Yeah, because you had gotten up for a little while and Abby was sitting with me.
Oh.
So that might have been what it is.
Maybe.
Yeah. Hey, Miss Patty. Patty, that's the half of Patty Mac.
The good half?
Yeah.
That's what you were going to say?
I was trying to be nice.
Emergency services are not available during major storms. I can't stress that enough. When the winds get above, when they reach 35 miles an hour and above, emergency services stop responding. 35 miles an hour. That's a long time, depending on the severity of the storm. That's a long time to be without emergency services.
It's because those emergency vehicles are top heavy.
Well, it's just not safe
they're a
conditions.
giant box. So when you get heavy winds up against that box, it can very easily topple it over. So, yeah.
So remember that if you decide to stay and not evacuate, nobody's coming to help you in an emergency during a storm like that.
Right.
Hey, Mr. Buddy, welcome. And again, tune into your local weather station to track storms. After the hurricane, immediately following the storm, when it's safe to do so, go out and assess damage. Tarping the roof and windows is a priority if those things are damaged. Connect and run your generator if the power is out.
Or call Joe to come help you run your generator because your husband's gone.
Practice safety. Know how to run the generator. Know how it works. Be familiar. Please, please, please. There's a situation that deeply affects me as far as generators. So anyway, avoid floodwaters if possible, because you never know what's in the floodwaters. And it could be sewage. There could be, who knows what. There could be a broken power line that's in the water, and that electrifies all the water, obviously. Try to avoid the floodwaters. Cutting downed trees should be done by skilled people.
That would be Joe.
Never touch a downed power line, even if you believe that it is a dead line.
I got a generator last Christmas. Still haven't used it. Get the book out. Learn how to start it up. Put some fuel in it. Run it for a little while. It's actually good for you to learn how to do it. What I did, and now I have Joe, awesome Joe is right down the road if I ever have any questions. But I actually had Brett step by step show me how to run the generator from beginning to end, how to do it, and then how to turn it off. And I filmed him doing it. I think Michigan Daffodil was the one that gave me the idea. But that way I have a video to watch and double check myself to make sure it's up and running, properly, and I'm doing everything properly. And then when it still doesn't work, I call Joe because it's usually something I did wrong.
Keep in mind, storm cleanup can be exhausting and temperatures can be extreme. For us, we mentioned it a while ago, the heat index was like 100 F it.
Joe said he just ordered another generator this morning. Wow.
Never run a generator on empty load. Make sure to run it with a load. Yes. Take time to cool off, stay hydrated, because it's easy. It's so easy to just burn yourself out, and listen to your body.
Put the generator manual in your bathroom as reading material. That's a good idea.
Expect travel delays due to blocked streets. You saw in the video a little while ago, there was trees and power lines, power poles all in the streets.
Yeah.
And for those same reasons, you can still, after the storm, you can expect delays in emergency response for those same reasons. Assist friends, family, and neighbors as you are able. Additional tips and considerations. Oh, hang on.
What'd you do?
I gotta fix it. There. No. Turning the fridge to the coldest setting before the power goes out helps to keep that, and filling the freezer, we mentioned that earlier, with water jugs, the fridge and freezer with water jugs to create mass. Those things help to keep the fridge and freezer cold for longer. And if you keep them closed, that helps a lot too. Place a cup of water in the freezer until it is frozen, and then you can place a coin on top of that, on top of the ice. Mm-hmm. That's without a cover on the cup. Place a coin on top of that, especially if you've evacuated. And then when you come back, if the coin is still sitting on top of the ice, you know that there was no power outage, or it wasn't out for long enough for things to defrost. Right. If the coin is down at the bottom of the cup and the water is refrozen and the power is on, then you know that everything defrosted in there and it's not safe to eat, most likely.
Okay. Michigan Daffodil has a great tip. Write down the steps to the generator and laminate it.
Good idea.
That way, attach it to the generator. That way you have it.
A pitcher of water dumped quickly into the toilet will cause it to flush. That's into the bowl of the toilet. You don't have to mess with the back of the toilet at all. Unplug major appliances to avoid damage from power surges. And generator safety, I don't really think I finished that thought, but a carbon monoxide detector. Please, if you're going to run a generator, have a carbon monoxide detector to help protect your life. Carbon monoxide is an odorless, invisible gas that replaces the oxygen in your blood if you inhale it, and it can cause sickness and death. That's very close to my heart.
After Hurricane Laura, most of the deaths due to the hurricane were actually caused by carbon monoxide poisoning.
We got several of those calls.
Yeah.
You want a proper ventilation for your generator,
and fresh batteries in the detector. Yes, if you're gonna run the generator, change the batteries in your carbon monoxide detector before you ever even start the generator.
And understand that there is a shock risk because you are creating electricity with that machine. Know what you're doing, because you could also potentially backfeed. If you don't know how to hook up your generator properly into your breaker box, then don't do that. Run things on extension cords. If you do run it through your breaker box, then make sure you know what you're doing, because you could backfeed power and potentially injure or kill a lineman who might be working on the lines.
Well, we were able to tell the Entergy guys that, you know, they came around looking, and when they heard the generators, they came down and detached the fuses at each place. Okay, Lippy says put a pack of Kool-Aid in the back of your toilet tank after storms. It'll let you know if you develop a leak.
Huh. Good idea.
We've never had a leak in our toilet after a storm, but I'm sure it can happen. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
all right.
not that
I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. Joe. Joe says some poor souls put their generator too close to their house and suffered carbon monoxide poisoning. So sad. Oh, there's the other half of Southern Blessed Homestead. Must be Mac. So the day after the hurricane, we were sitting.
Yeah, Sean, we changed batteries at the time changes.
We were
forward, fall back.
sitting at the firehouse, me and coworkers, and one of my coworkers got a phone call, and 5 of his family members were
Gone.
They were gone. They were poisoned by carbon monoxide, and the look on his face when he got that call will stay with me until the day that I die. That was really hard.
Yeah.
So 2 years later,
Shut off the
we're doing
the main breaker and starting a generator. Before starting a generator, if it's hardwired into the breaker box. Yeah.
Oh, and not only electrical grid power outages, you could possibly, most likely, internet outages. Those pretty much go right along with power, because a lot of the times your communication lines, which is that's the lines, the thicker lines at the bottom of on power lines. Those are the ones that they provide service to your telephone, like
Cell phone. No.
I don't know, not cell phone, but like landlines, your old school phones.
We have those.
And internet, and those things. Those, because they're on power lines, if the power line's broken, a lot of times those utilities are unavailable as well. And don't think just because water mains are underground that they're safe in a hurricane, because many places in Lake Charles in the city, these big trees that got uprooted with the winds yanked the 8-inch water mains out of the ground, hydrants and everything, just like it was crazy. Cell towers connected to power grids. Yep, cell towers, there's a good chance that those could be damaged when the winds are that high. The main, what are they called?
Be prepared to have a lot of fuel on hand. They burn a lot of fuel.
The giant feeder lines, you may see those out in the country as these huge, big tower type poles. Not even poles, really. It's these big structures and there's 6 lines in our area for sure, 6 feeder lines, and just for miles.
I don't know.
They're just huge. Well, some of those big structures even got damaged during those storms and had to be rebuilt.
Sean said neighbor above me lost both father and mother and grandmother due to carbon monoxide.
Man.
Generator running during the ice storm power outage.
It happens.
It happens
so easily.
It happens fast, yeah. And you have no idea that it's even happening until it's too late.
And that's one of those things you can't just go up and go back and fix it, because that's done.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important for me. Like every time I talk about a generator, always bring up carbon monoxide.
Good battery bank is a wonderful thing to have along with a generator, and then solar panels. Exactly. I am hoping to get my solar panels for my birthday this year.
Update on that, yeah. We don't have any updates. That's our update. No
I'm
news.
hoping to get that for my birthday instead of a hurricane, but it's I don't know.
So,
Looking kind of iffy at the moment.
I don't know if you guys saw the video that we put out over the weekend. Was it the weekend? Yeah. We haven't put out a video in so long, and just put one out Sunday. Because
when was it? It was our anniversary. So when was it?
It was Sunday. Give you a stink eye.
I don't care.
The central unit, turns out it was giving trouble, and but we made it through because we put the window unit in the window. And
remember last Wednesday when we had our live stream and something wasn't quite right with the AC?
Yeah.
It started working again later that night. So we thought, okay, well, maybe it was just a glitch. I thought it was the smart thermostat did something weird to it.
Is it raining?
I think so.
If it's not raining, I'm
But-
gonna sneak a cigarette in.
I was panicking because he was going to have to go to work the next day, and I didn't know if I could get the window unit into the window by myself. So I had him go look at it, check it for wasps in case I had to call Joe the next day, because I didn't want to get stung, and I didn't want Joe to get stung either. And so we did that. But through the night, it seemed like it was fine. So, well, then all of a sudden, Saturday evening, it did it again. This time it wasn't picking itself back up. The coils and stuff were all frozen over, and I knew when it froze like that, call the AC guy. We were low on Freon. And we've had a really rough summer this year, so I'm really impressed that it lasted as long as it did. It didn't give any trouble during the hottest parts, So we made it through. The AC guy came out. Our AC guy is he's amazing. He came out on a Sunday, and within an hour, which it would have been less than an hour because he went and got his fishing pole out of the truck and he was fishing in the pond, but and he was cutting up and just visiting and stuff. He's a really awesome guy. But he got us up and running, and it is running way more efficient than it has in a long time. So, small wire on the back of our outside unit is cracked when the wind blew. It would turn on emergency. Huh? That's weird. Ugh. Well, I was hoping that we didn't have to get a new one because, I mean, this one is 7 years old, but I really didn't want to spend the money on a new central unit. Brett, what's the best thing you like about your job? Because he gets to drive the biggest truck. I'll let him answer that when he comes in. But hey, Wendy, yes, Freon is expensive. It costs us about $200, but it could have been a whole lot worse. And he came out on a Sunday afternoon, so I can't really complain about that. Mike has been really great to us. He's come out here at 9:30 at night to change a capacitor on the unit for us because there was a snake coiled up in it, and it happened to touch the right or wrong two ports at one time or something, and it fried it. So he's come out at 9:30 at night. I think that was a Sunday too, honestly. Homestead Aquarius, thanks for coming. Um, yeah, hurricane preparedness is kind of our thing. Oh, no problem, Wendy. I just wanted to make sure I said hello. Um, Brett stepped outside. I think it's getting ready to start raining out there. It sounds pretty rough, but oh, here we go. We must be doing something right. I'm gonna troll or whatever. Thank you for that, Sean. I was trying to get it, but I think you grabbed it before I could. Sean's usually faster than I am, so and that's pretty good because there's a delay on this video. So yeah, we definitely don't need all that. Did you bring her out?
No,
Okay.
it's starting to rain a little.
Is it switch places with me and I'll go?
I don't know if you saw me in the chat.
Yeah. Wait a little bit.
Yeah. All right.
Huge storm approaching from Vinton. Oh. Slow out of practice.
That's all right.
Libby said my hands are in the dish bucket. Hey, I got dishes over here you can come do. Hello.
So how can you guys, like if you're not in a hurricane affected area, how can you apply these? Like what would be the natural disaster that would affect you the most where you are? Obviously for us, it's the hurricanes. Oh, you can hear the thunder on our end? Wow.
It's thunder. It's loud.
Oh, why is Matt? Okay, Patty, you're about to be a moderator. There you go. Now you're a moderator, Patty. Tornadoes in Oklahoma. Tornadoes. See, that's the thing, man. Tornadoes, at least with hurricanes, we get warnings. Scratch Made, welcome. Scratch Made Homestead is from Alabama, right? Leslie and Danny made the trip after Hurricane Laura and brought a Jeep full of supplies to help out the community over here in the Lake Charles area. And we really appreciate that. Tornadoes, not much warning, yeah. And see, we've had that. I mean, Hurricane Laura, the one we've been talking about tonight, was the first major disaster, and it was huge. It was a big deal. It was the first of 4 major disasters that affected the Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana area in I want to say it was about 10 months. We had Hurricane Laura at the end of August of 2020. Then Hurricane Delta. There were others. There were other smaller tropical storms and stuff that hit us that year too, but they were not really anything to put on the list. And then there was Hurricane Delta at the beginning of October of 2020, and then the big ice storm that affected Texas. It was in the news because it affected Texas really bad. But we're close enough to Texas. It affected us too.
What?
And the ice storm.
Snowmageddon?
Yeah. In fact, I have some footage on my phone from my captain who who had taken some footage because I was driving. Obviously, I couldn't. And then the flood, right? Excuse me. The flood was in May of 2021.
You see, the ice and snowstorm that everybody says hit Texas so bad hit everybody.
It hit us pretty good too, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
Let's see if I'm looking through my phone real quick to see if I can find that little video clip that my captain had gotten of driving the fire truck, and if I can find it fast enough, I'll share that.
the middle of Mississippi has been getting a lot of rain, but we have not gotten much at all lately. That's weird. We've been getting rain almost every day.
See, that's another thing. I'm looking through my pictures on my phone. Our daughter's grave was messed up. A pine tree fell on it, and we still haven't been out there to fix that.
Yeah. I saw way too much ice this last year, right? I just slipped out on my deck to water my plants. Ours are getting watered by nature.
There it is.
Seen 2 major ice storms here in Canada in the last 3 decades. One, power was out for a week in town. The other, some lost power for months in winter. Oh, wow. I didn't know. Like, okay, Sean, how do you have an ice storm in Canada when, like, your whole winter is an ice storm?
Crazy Cajun. Hi, Katie. Okay, let me see if I can share this real quick.
Our plants have become water lilies. We haven't had, okay, we've had a lot of rain, but I think the ground is soaking it up so fast. He cut grass today. The grass was really thick.
I don't know if you'll be able to hear this one, but I'll play it.
What is that? Oh, the ice?
Yeah. This was driving the fire truck on the icy roads that we're not used to at all.
Yeah, that was way too fast for me. After 6 months of no rain, I've gotten enough rain in the past couple of weeks to see sprouts. Wow. Snow is way different than ice. Well, okay.
I don't know if they can hear you. Yeah. So earlier somebody asked, what's my favorite part of driving the fire truck? Or my favorite part of my job? Emergency mode. It'll get out of the way, usually.
I saw the fuzzy black worm, all black. Uh-oh. Oh, that's, I don't remember the name of it either. Driving fast for ice. Yes, you stopped. Okay. See, that's why I don't like watching that kind of stuff. Katie said it was raining in Lake Charles. Yeah, it's pouring here too now. Willy worm? Yeah, I don't know exactly how all that goes, but I know if it's a certain color, then it's going to be colder, and it's kind of like the persimmon seeds, which I'm still waiting to cut some persimmons. We have a few persimmons on the tree that are just starting to turn. They might be dropping now because of the rain. The rain and wind might knock them down.
It's raining pretty good now. We could potentially lose you guys.
Woolly worm. Okay. All black is super cold. Brown not as cold. Oh, she says she saw one all black.
Uh-oh.
That ain't good. No, I don't want a super cold winter. I freeze. Oh man. That's okay, because my spot is going to be right here where Brett's sitting because the heater is right behind him.
Yeah, I'm blocking that heater with my big sylph.
We had rain all weekend, and it moved to the Dallas area. Yeah, Dallas got hit pretty hard, but I think they needed the rain. I know I talked to Rachel. She's in the Dallas area, and they had gotten quite a bit of rain. It flooded in some areas, but she said as soon as the rain stopped, the water was going down pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, Michelle P just sent me an email reminding me that Ryan Hall, y'all, on YouTube,
Yes.
gives updates on weather issues. I believe he may be a meteorologist and tries to give warnings of bad weather coming in.
Yeah,
That
that's the one that Lippy follows.
Lippy, yeah.
Yeah. We cut 3 persimmons. 1 had a knife. 2 had spoons. That's not good. No, okay. Lippy, are you cutting the ripe persimmons?
Yeah, how does that work?
Because from what I looked up, it needs to be a ripe persimmon. And then you take the seed and you cut the seed out of it. Like, you cut the seed in half. See, I've never done that. But a knife means like it's like the cold is going to cut you like a knife.
Right. And the spoon represents shoveling snow.
The fork is a more mild winter. Yeah, we need a fork.
Hey, speaking of that, tell me what you guys think
He's
about
a
it.
meteorologist, left his job.
Kind of a dad joke.
Spend time chasing.
Right. So if we're all familiar with a fork in the road, right? It's something that came to mind this week to me.
Persimmons harvest in February.
A fork in the road is where the road splits, right? Shouldn't a cul-de-sac be a spoon? Should be a spoon in the road.
Guy roped a branch with a kettle rope and yanked the branch off a live electrical wire.
Oh, that's risky.
Yikes. Oh, everyone I know has had spoons so far this year. I don't like spoons. I eat everything with a fork except gumbo and ice cream and soup. That's pretty much it.
You don't spoon your roads. That's it.
Don't think Brennan might hurt.
Oh boy.
Oh man. But like our GPS will say that, stay right at the fork. It doesn't even look like a fork. Who uses a fork that's like this?
How's it go? Yeah. Let's see
Stop
you do that again.
I mean, it's crazy.
Okay, Lippy says she sent you a picture.
Is a straight road a knife? That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, a straight highway. That would be a knife.
Oh look.
Okay.
That's crazy. One of them kind of looks like a messed up spoon, looks like a messed up knife.
Ew.
Wow.
Hey guys, if you're not friends with me on Facebook, you're missing out. Oh, that's where I post a lot of political stuff, risque stuff,
and stupid stuff too.
Well, stupid stuff. I've been playing around with like YouTube Shorts and Facebook Reels.
Y'all don't encourage him.
And I'm having a little fun.
Don't encourage him.
I'll just say I'm having fun.
New fork. All right. I mean, like a fork in the road is like a why. I would not want to eat off of something that looked like that.
Your post about student loans. Yeah. What did I put?
Who knows? Traffic circle is the entire cutlery tray in the road. Exactly, Sean.
Well, I posted a couple of things about student loans because we decided. I guess we
Probably
decided.
that one.
Yeah, no, I guess we decided because apparently that these people are supposed to be representative of us.
Like,
So, yeah. So the first one I put was my mortgage identifies as a student loan. And then the one that
the one with the F-bomb.
Okay, yeah. Okay, it says, to all those who worked hard and paid off your own student loans, go F yourself, apparently.
Like
That's what I wrote.
antique pitchfork, which has 2 prongs, not 3. See, if you have a pitchfork that has three prongs on it, we call that a threek. It's not a fork, it's a threek.
And look, here's the thing. Amy and I have old student loans. We never finished college, but we have old student loans. So it looks like we're going to benefit from this, but I still think it's wrong. I don't.
We may
agree with
benefit.
it.
I don't know. I hadn't even
Well,
looked
whether
into it.
we benefit from it or not, I still think it's not the right thing to do.
Well, so now instead of paying on our own student loans, we're going to pay on everybody's student loans.
That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing.
But see, it covers everybody that got a loan up until July 1st of this year. So that's new freshmen going into college. They don't even have to pay for anything. And it's just gone.
Wouldn't it be a better idea to somehow encourage, because I don't want to say regulate, because I'm so much in favor of smaller government. They need to stay out of our business and most people's business. Some sort of incentive, some way to encourage colleges to
Keep tuition low?
yeah, to encourage more reasonable tuition.
Well, I mean,
Same with freaking doctor bills.
tuition probably
Medical
wouldn't
bills.
be so high if we wouldn't be paying for all their beautiful buildings and statues and, you know.
Most every facet of America, most organizations, most things need to be torn down and just rebuilt from the ground up. Institutions, that's what I was trying to think of. If it wasn't so expensive, I'd be able to go back to school.
Okay, you can go back to school and get a student loan. I mean, there are ways around it. I mean, and the thing of it is, the student loans you don't have to pay on until after you graduate. I think it's 6 months after graduation. So, I mean, if you're going back for something you really want to go for, and you know,
Every young graduate will give them a vote. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it really is. Buying votes.
well, even with Suella, Katie, I mean, you would probably have to have a student loan, but yeah. I mean, you can still apply for grants and you can still apply for scholarships and things like that. You know, you're not too old for to apply for a Pell Grant.
That's another great point, Kiri. You know, when the reason why Amy and I have student loans is because back in 2007, we were kind of reassessing life and exploring possibly different ways to go. And we looked into University of Phoenix online. And
We got suckered in.
we really did. It was a sales pitch with the buy now kind of pitch. We were rushed into making a decision, and it was a bad one. And we ended up, because we were so strapped for time, we had 3 small kids at home trying to manage work and school and everything. And Phoenix, I believe, with my experience, our experience, Phoenix absolutely is a scam. We ended up getting to the point where we were just so trying to stay caught up.
We were taking the same class.
We were taking the same class with the same instructors, and we ended up.
We wrote a paper that was similar.
We turned in. No, it was word for word.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
Was it really?
It was. It was copy and paste, and we both turned in the same. And we voted for plagiarism, and we gave them the finger, and now we've got these bills. So.
And it was like one class, but yeah.
It was awful. I wasn't learning anything. I was just constantly just trying to stay caught up.
Most of it was ethics and like
ethics.
Oh, it was horrible.
Hey, Bub.
I had so much trouble sitting in that class.
Is anybody coming to the Heartland Homesteaders Picnic? I would love to. I wish we could. We cannot. If anybody else is interested, that's happening. And please give us the details, Bub. That's in September in Western Kentucky.
Somewhere in Kentucky. It's Grand Rivers, Kentucky.
Grand Rivers, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Okay.
Grand Rivers are great rivers. Some rivers. Anne Marie's going.
Oh, I wish I could go.
I know. Overwhelmed.
We were very much overwhelmed,
Yeah.
yes. And we just made a bad decision. One of many.
Oh, Patty and Mac are going.
Mimsy.
I didn't read it out loud on purpose.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Is it September 10th? I knew it was usually around September 11th.
Okay. Either way. Still funny. Oh man.
I don't know what the dog's doing under there. Probably trying to hide from the rain. She's mad at me because I made her go outside, and it was kind of starting to rain.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I think we probably ought to go ahead and.
Yeah, there you
I'm
go.
so glad. I've learned tonight.
Oh, Grand Rivers. I was right. September 10th at 10 a.m.
So I've learned tonight. I'm pretty sure this is a pretty solid experiment that we've done. It seems that we don't have the mic issues when we use StreamYard.
Yeah, I don't know what.
So I'm expecting to use StreamYard probably from now on.
Well, and that way too, like maybe we can get Reagan up here to do a video with us or something.
That'd be fun.
Reagan and Sean. That would be a combination.
I don't know if Sean's interested in being on camera. I haven't seen him lately.
He's taking an extended break from YouTube. See, Reagan said he would love to. Well, see, I can't get him to come over here and drink coffee with me, but he'll agree to be on a video.
Have we tried OBS? Katie, I'm on a Mac and don't know how to. It's very complicated to try to use OBS on a Mac, apparently. And I haven't tried it with Mom's computer.
We did try it with the desktop. And with our internet issues, it will not run.
Our internet sucks.
OBS does work on a Mac, but it has to be.
It's complex.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of crap that has to happen first.
All right, people are saying good night. So good night. No.
Yeah, we're gonna head out for the night.
So guys, I hope we were able to share some good info with you. Even if you're not affected by hurricanes in your area, hopefully you could take the information that we shared and apply it to whatever natural disaster that you struggle with in your area. And until next week, Thursday again, by the way, next week.
Yep.
So until then, good night and God bless.
Stay safe, guys. We'll see you next Thursday.